man of my word.
What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. I know I've been going, but I'm back now. I've just been a little bit busy doing some other life things. Please excuse my voice. I'm a little sick, but I don't want to waste any of your time, so I'm going to get right into this portfolio update video. In 2026, I'll be making sure that I'm more consistent with uploading. So at minimum, every month, I'm going to update. I'm going to make a update video at the end of every month. So right now, I'm doing a video in the middle of the month. I'm going to put this one on the channel, but every single month, at the end of the month, I will be making an update video showing you what I bought for that month. Okay. So right now, I'm going to go ahead and update you on some changes I've made to the portfolio. As you can see, I'm using Snowball Analytics. I'm not sponsored by Snowball Analytics. They don't pay me anything for using their platform. I just heard good things about them, so I'm going to be trying them out and seeing how I like using their uh, their format for tracking my dividends and my income and everything like that. So far, I like it. They have a lot of good tools on here do that I find useful. Okay. So I'm just gonna go ahead and jump right into it. I don't want to make this video too long, but I did a little bit of portfolio rebalancing. So as you can see here, I have a couple of different holdings in the portfolio, and I'm gonna go over what those holdings are and why I made those changes. So beforehand, my on the last video that I made, I held C&Q, EPD, SCHD, T-Row, and Western Midstream. Okay, out of all those companies, I only still hold two of those same ones. One of them is T Rowe Price, as you can see here, right? So I'm not selling T Rowe. It's been doing pretty well for me. I like the position that I have in this company, so I'm going to be keeping that. All right. I do own Western Midstream still. However, these shares that I purchased so far are um are not the same one that I held previously. So when I did that portfolio rebalancing, I ended up selling my Western Midstream shares that I had back then to put them into a different company. So these shares of Western Midstream that you see right here, the 9 shares that I have uh, of that company, are not the same ones that I held previously. So I bought these pretty much at a higher cost basis. I'm thinking I got these around $41. That's what I have these at now. Previously, I had them at my cost per share. I believe it's like $38.50 or something like that. So I've missed a little bit of price appreciation. I think that Western Midstream is up. If I would have held those shares that I had previously from the time that I bought last year, I would be up like 10% uh, in share price appreciation so far. But I believe that I made when I rebalanced the account, that I made the better decision by putting them into this company that I'm going to talk about now. These two companies I'm going to talk about now, which have been the primary drivers of growth in the portfolio in 2026. Okay. And those two companies are Elevance Health and Novo Nordisk. If you've been keeping up with the news, or just keeping up with the news, you know that the healthcare space, healthcare sector, has been the most beaten down sector of 2025, and in my opinion, is going to be behind AI stocks in the AI sector and the technology sector. The healthcare sector is going to be probably one of the best performers over the next year to 2 years behind the AI companies and the tech companies. Okay, so I decided to buy Elevance Health. When I went to make that decision to rebalance the portfolio, I was looking at UNH when it was like at $234. It wasn't at that price for long. I think it may have stayed around that 234 to 236 range for maybe like a couple days. And then Warren Buffett came out and he let everybody know about his investment in UNH, and then the stock ran up like almost $100 over the course of 4 or 5 days when it was at its low. I'm kicking myself for not making the decision to sell what I had previously and rebalance those into UNH. I would have had like 40 shares at UNH um, at around almost a 4% dividend yield. So I'm kind of kicking myself for not making that decision right then and there and earlier. But I'm happy with Elevance Health. Elevance Health checks off my a couple boxes for me. They're a well-run company. Number one, number two, they're a company with not no debt, but they have a net negative debt position. So they have debt on their balance sheet, but they have more cash than they do debt. So I like Elevance Health for those two main reasons. It's one of the largest health insurance companies in the United States. I think it's like the second or third largest health insurance company behind UNH and possibly I think Aetna. I believe maybe one that's larger, but I know it's top three largest health insurance company in the U.S. So I'm very bullish on the healthcare sector. I think it's over. I think it's been an overreaction to their margin compression. So if you don't know, a lot of these health insurance companies sold off because there were some they're already a low margin business, so they're already only making 5-6% margins on their revenues that they generate. And in 2025, they had well, really late 2024 through 2025, they had some problems, some compression with their margins. So basically, they were anticipating that they were going to make, let's just say, $100, right? So they were charging premiums that would have generated $100 worth of revenue, and then they would have made let's say a 94%. I'm sorry, they would have made a 6% margin off of that, 5% margin off of that. Well, that people were using health insurance more than they anticipated, so those costs went up that they had to pay out, and their margins went down to 3 and 4%. Some of the health insurance companies, their margins were at 2%. I think there was a major overreaction to that in the market, so there was a major pullback. People were dumping the stock prices. So people were dumping the shares of these companies, and those stock prices went way down. And I feel like that was a great buying opportunity to um to purchase some shares in these companies. One of the other companies that I own is that I decided to buy was Novo Nordisk. I'm not really a big fan of pharmaceutical companies, but I think that the valuation that Novo Nordisk dropped to was just too good to pass up. So right now I have 40 shares in Novo Nordisk. Novo Nordisk has actually been a very good performer for me. I'm up 15%, and the dividend yield that I have on this company is 3 point. Dividend yield that I have from the price that I purchased the shares of this company is at I think about 3.7 or 3.8%. So I'm pretty happy about that. It is a high dividend growth company too, which they probably will not grow the dividend at a rate as high as they've been doing over the last few years because they probably will have less revenue to work with. I think the reason why this stock price tanked was because people were overreacting to Eli Lilly taking their market share. So if you don't know, Novo Nordisk is the maker of Wegovy and Ozempic. Okay, those are weight loss and diabetes medications to help people lose weight and help people manage their diabetes. Well, Eli Lilly is also probably the best run pharmaceutical company in the world. They have come out with Zepbound and Manjaro, which is the competition to which is their response to Wegovy and Ozempic. So Zepbound and Manjaro are to help people lose weight and also manage their diabetes, and they've been taking a lot of market share from Novo Nordisk. However, Novo Nordisk has been the first to market with the Wegovy pill, with the first GLP-1 pill. So I'm thinking that with them being the first to market, that's probably why their stock price has gone from, I believe, the lowest price I bought it at was $43. So at one point, the stock price was $43 about 2 months ago. Okay, I think I only got about 5 or 6 shares at that price. Most of my shares I bought at that $48 range. But a couple months ago, their share price was at $43. But since they've been first to market with that GLP-1 pill, they have seen an increase in their share price of about 15 more than 15% from that low. That's about a 30% or 32, 33% increase from that $43 low. Most people were probably able to buy shares around the same price I was, around that 47 to 48, $49 range. That's been a 15% increase in their share price, with them being the first to market with that GLP-1 pill. Eli Lilly, they won't be able to bring their GLP-1 pill to market until, I believe they said they won't get FDA approval until, I think it's April or May. I believe they said April. So they won't be able to, once you get approval from the FDA, they can't immediately come out with the pill. They won't immediately come out with the pill. It'll probably be another month before they come out with the pill. Just like Novo Nordisk got approval for their GLP-1 pill in December, they didn't release the pill and make it available for people to purchase until um, January. So Novo Nordisk is going to have two, I believe it'll be two earnings calls before Eli Lilly releases their version of the GLP-1 pill. I'm thinking that the sales from the GLP-1 pill that Novo Nordisk has is going to be accretive to their balance sheet, and on those earnings calls, they're going to be able to show the increased revenue from that GLP-1, from those GLP-1 pill purchases, and I think it's going to send the share price even higher. The share price already went up 15 plus dollars based off them just releasing the pill. Now, once that pill begins to be accretive to their balance sheet, I think it's going to send the share price even higher. So I'm very happy with Novo Nordisk. One thing that I've been thinking about is I don't know if you know who Rick Rule is, but he's an investor. A lot of people kind of, some people would like him, some people don't like him, but he said this one thing that stuck with me. He said the easiest if I can remember exactly what he said. I think he said the easiest thing to do is to purchase an asset that can go from being hated to tolerated. A lot of people hated Novo Nordisk, and it reflected it in the share price. At one point, this stock traded for $140 at its highs, and it dropped all the way to $43. All right, because people were overreacting to the Eli Lilly coming in and taking part of the market share. This GLP-1 obesity market is going to be kind of like I'm looking at it as a duopoly. So just like you have Mastercard and you have Visa, well, I'm looking at this GLP-1, this obesity, this diabetes space as a duopoly between Novo Nordisk and Eli Lilly. So out of Mastercard and Visa, one of those two companies is the number two guy. Okay, out of Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk, one of them is going to be the number two guy. If Novo Nordisk is the number two guy, that's fine with me. The number two guy is still in the top two either way. So that's how I'm looking at this Novo Nordisk, and especially keeping in mind, we know what Rick Rule said, the easiest the easiest way to increase your share price is to buy a stock that you feel like is going to go from being hated to tolerated. And I think that's what's happening to Novo Nordisk. They were hated at $43. Now that they're tolerated, they're up to $58. That's over a 30% increase. If they go from being loved, if this GLP-1 pill can take them from being tolerated to being loved again, I think it'll send the stock price even higher. So that's what we're gonna wait. That's what I'm gonna wait and see if that's gonna happen for him. I'm pretty sure it will. I'm pretty confident that it will. All right, another company that I still hold, like I mentioned before, was Western Midstream. I'm very bullish on the midstream space, on the energy space in general. Also, if you still hold CNQ, even though I sold out of it, CNQ is doing pretty good too. They're up, I believe, 5% on their share price. So if you would have started buying around that $28, I'm sorry, more than 5%, almost 10% as well, if you would have started buying at that 28, $29 range, $30 range, like I was getting those shares beforehand. But so you'd be up about 10% with an over 5% dividend yield locked in for you on that particular stock. But I'm very bullish on this midstream space. I also own shares of of MPLX. Um, I didn't make any videos about this, but MPLX was also one of the companies that I reallocated from to put into Elevance Health and Novo Nordisk. Those I used to own almost, I think it was 25, maybe 30 shares of MPLX but I accumulated my shares at that 47 to $49 price range over the last couple months. So you'll be up over 10% in MPLX as well. So with these midstream companies, you can get a 10% increase in share price and they're kicking off Western Midstream. At that point, it was kicking off a 9% dividend yield. MPLX, before their price started going up, was kicking off close to an 8.5% dividend yield. So you can have a 10% price appreciation plus an 8 or 9% dividend yield. If that price appreciation sticks with you for the remainder of the year, you'd be up 20% in that position in 1 year. 9% with the dividend, 9 or 8% with the dividend, 10% with the appreciation on your share price. So that's an 18 or 19% increase. I'm sorry, 18, 19, that's an 18 or 19% gain for this particular stock if you be holding these midstream companies. But I'm very bullish on Western Midstream. You can go back and watch my previous video of the little mini breakdown I did about Western Midstream Partners. But that's my favorite midstream company to own right now. Right now I have 9 shares. I'm going to be building back up these shares, my shares in these two companies. How I um how I look at it is I'm a school teacher, so I don't normally do my financial planning January through December. I normally do it from about August to June. So my when I say, because my plan over the next year is to put 20,000 into this midstream space. So that's what I'm going to be doing. The bulk of my money, unless another, a more a better deal arises in the market, I'm going to be putting the bulk of my money over the foreseeable future, over this next year. My investable money is going to be about 20,000. I'm going to be putting that into Western Midstream and MPLX. So I don't normally do my financial plan in January to December. I do it from August to June, based on around the school year when I'm getting paid, because I don't get paid over the summer unless I work a summer job. But yeah, I just wanted to make this quick video for you guys, just keep you an update. I'll be back here in 2 weeks to show you what buys I did throughout the month. These portfolio update videos are going to be at the end of the month, because I use my second paycheck of the month to do my investing in the market. But I don't want to keep you too long. If you enjoyed the video, if you got something out of the video, please like, share, subscribe, and follow along. Thank you. Have a good rest of your day.